Good afternoon there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Charlotte MotorSpeedway tonight. We on the Roval. That's a new one for us, ain't it, Ryan? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tim McBurry. We at Charlotte Roval tonight, the new Charlotte Roval, and we're gonna have a spectacular race tonight. Y'all gonna enjoy this. I'm Tim McBurry up here in the booth. Alongside me is my friend and colleague Ron Gallo. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm doing great here, Tim. Looking forward to what's going to be a really interesting race, to say the least, here at the brand new Charlotte Roval here to iRacing. This track car combination is a very exciting one for sure. We're going to see a wild start to this race. It's 55 laps under the sun here in the Charlotte MotorSpeedway and the road course layout here. And it's going to be hot and slick. Interesting racing. No cautions, 55 laps. And, wow, it's going to be wild. Expecting probably one or two pit stops. Not a ton with the race going green the whole way. I mean, you just kind of stay out as long as you can on fuel until you have to come in. Tires don't become undrivable. They might slow you down, but I think they'll be able to last quite a ways on a run for fuel. Just got done with qualifying here, and this race of survival will be led to green here by the pole sitter Andrew Mraz, who ran a 1 minute 16.3 second lap time. Starting to his outside will be Jeremy Clifton in the 21 car. Starting third will be Brandon Ketchum. Fourth will be Jerry Glenn. Fifth, Lee Overton. Sixth, Orlando Rivera. Seventh, Brandon Fries. Eighth, Jacob Chalifo. Ninth, Mike Gant. And 10th will be Casey Duncan. But the rest of the field, that's only 9 cars actually got a qualifying lap, and that just shows you how challenging this track is.
I'm looking at it. I didn't see KC, but I got it.
Yeah, Casey actually didn't even run a lap. He was just kind of the next name on the list. So only 9 guys ran qualifying times. We probably got about maybe 17 or so cars signed up for this race. And smaller field than we usually get, and it's just because these road courses are so tough.
Oh, they are, Ryan. They eat you up too, buddy. Hey, one thing these guys got to watch out tonight is for that turtle.
Yeah, the turtles there all around the track. You'll see those blue curb-looking things around the track. You've probably heard the term before from watching maybe the race that was held here last year. They used the term turtle a lot, and that's those blue curbs that stick up and especially become a problem on the back straightaway chicane and that final corner, the final set of corners there, where those turtles can do a lot of damage to a car, especially on that back straightaway. If you overshoot the corner just the slightest bit, and you barely catch one of these turtles with these K&N cars especially, it just destroys your car. You get engine damage, and if you hit it hard enough, you'll blow the car up or just plain wreck if you bury it into the tires or into the wall. So it's going to be a race of survival, because 55 laps, that's a lot of laps, and when you're trying to move around this track as fast as you can, you're going to make a mistake in those 55 laps. So it's going to be a race of attrition and survival here tonight.
That's right, buddy. I'm looking forward to it there, Bubba. We're gonna get this baby going here in a minute.
Yeah, cars hitting the grid behind the brand new Porsche iRacing safety car there. As you can see, this is a road course race, so they use the different pace car. So it's a little bit of a different look on that nice new Porsche that's going to lead the field to green. And as the field lines up, gridded on the front straightaway there. And another thing to remember tonight is the last race before the chase. Last week's winner, Jerry Glenn, is very well into the playoffs. He won last week, but this is it, the last race before the chase, and it's tight between, we're going to mention 3 guys when it comes to the points battle, mostly between Damian Crump, Dylan Mirando, and Cody Fabianic. That's the 11th, 12th, and 13th place cars and points. Those guys are the on the bubble there. The top 12 make the chase. The wins don't matter. It's all about just points. Kind of the old style, the way they used to do the chase before they changed it to more of a playoff elimination style format, as we see in real life now in NASCAR. But we got Damian Crump. He is 5 points to the good over the cutoff line. Dylan Mirando is only 1 point over the Cody Fabianic car in 13th. That's Dylan Mirando in 12th. Only 1 point to the good. So it's going to be close between those guys. It's going to come down to the wire, and we will update you throughout the race and at the end of the race on who in fact, made the chase or not, and it's going to come down to the wire between those three guys more than likely.
I'll tell you what, Ryan, them three guys going to be racing their hearts out tonight.
Yeah, because they know just as well as we do how much it matters to make the chase or not. Because if you make the chase, no matter what, if you're the first guy making the chase, like Alan Fox and Lee Overton are the top two in points, versus if you're the last guy to make it, be it Dylan Mirando, Damian Crump, Cody Fabianic, whichever one of those guys make it, or whichever two of those guys make it, I guess. But it doesn't matter because the points reset starting next week is the first race of the chase at Daytona. And it's going to be a wild show starting there at Daytona for the beginning of the chase as we see the pace car starting to roll for our one nice long caution lap as we'll get to see the layout here at Charlotte Roval.
It's going to be a long one, ain't it?
It's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure.
I heard that. I'm racing right now. I'll be through. I come in there.
Field rolling on the start-finish line here. And pretty good-looking field as they got to crawl around the track here for the pace laps. And you're going to get a good look at what this place looks like. And, man, very challenging track. You see they are heading through the infield section right now, the road course section of the track. And it's not a lot of gear shifting. You're in second gear basically throughout the entire road course section in the infield, just crawling around these their tires. It's going to be a crawling around the corner style game here. And you can see the 21 and the 31 cars as they head up this hill here. Bit of incline into this, the slowest right-hander on the track right here. And they head back down the hill toward the oval.
These turns right here going to eat them tires up, Ryan.
Yeah, they certainly will, especially through the road course section. And then you see right here is where they make that tight left-hand corner and wash up the track and make their way up through the gears on the oval portion of the racetrack. And then the back straightaway chicane that they're going to get to in a moment, that's the corner that's going to do the most trouble for these guys. That back straightaway chicane along with the heartburn turn one, and that last chicane there on the racetrack to the last set of corners. It's going to set up for hopefully what we get to see a good finish. But as you can see on the back of these cars, a lot of red stripes. And that's those guys' rookies safety rating. A lot of these guys rookies on the road course side of things on iRacing. Doesn't mean they don't have any road course talent, of course. Just means they don't do much road course racing on iRacing at all. And we're going to see who comes out to shine here as we pace our way down through the back straightaway chicane. This is the corner that's going to be eating cars up tonight.
Oh, there's that turtle.
Yeah, you catch that blue turtle, and that's all it takes to end your night. You really need to take it safe through there as we head down through the front straightaway, or through turns 3 and 4 of the oval, which is actually turn, I think, 14 here of the road course. 14, 15, 16, and 17 as we come through the 17 corner road course under the summer sun here in Concord, North Carolina. The pace car has dropped in under the hands of Andrew Mraz to the green flag.
Green, green, green.
Here they come.
Time.
Andrew Mraz through the final 2 corners, and green flag is out here for 55 green flag laps at the Charlotte Roval into Heartburn turn number 1. The field already spreading out. And everybody's going to make it carefully through turn 1 as a long green flag run is on our way here, 55 laps. And Andrew Mraz is going to see what he can do as they head their way through the right-hander, the double apex right-handers, as the field single file all the way through.
Yeah, Jeremy Clifton is right there behind him. He's probably going to wait him out, you know it.
Yeah, just save your tires, save your stuff, long race. Just keep them within, maybe not even as close as you need them to be to make a move, but just keep them within sight so you know to keep a good pace there as everybody makes through. All right, Jacob Chalafo has gone for a spin. He actually almost lost it earlier in the track here, and he just spun it coming through the left-hander there. That's the bumpy section of the track, so he's turned himself around, no issue. And now here comes down the back straightaway, everybody making it all right through there. And now Andrew Mraz still leading.
I'm looking at Brandon Ketchum. He got a new car tonight there, Ryan.
Yeah, Ketchum is looking good in that new paint scheme there. The TMP9 Chevy.
Boy, it looks
Good looking car.
Yes, it is.
He runs third as almost everyone made it through that first lap of race. Jacob Chalifo, only one with an issue, is they're wadding up toward the back of the field trying to make it through.
And we got Jerry Glenn right here in fourth. He must like his Charlotte Roval.
Yeah, he does. And another guy who we just saw toward the back of the field there was Alan Hilton, working his way from the back, not able to run a qualifying lap. He found a turtle on the last set of corners, and he ramped it up into the air and almost flipped the car over just from hitting one of those turtles. So now he knows what it's like, and he's probably going to calm down a little bit as he's stuck toward the back. No doubt probably has engine damage.
There's several of them going to hit that turtle, and it's going to calm them down.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we're going to see if Andrew Mraz can run away here from Jeremy Clifton as they crawl down through the back straightaway chicane. Only the second lap, and these guys really taking it easy. They certainly know what it means to make a mistake on that back straightaway and do all that damage. I mean, it's an extreme amount of damage you can pick up, and you can totally be out of the race.
Oh, Jerry Clifton, he got real close.
Yeah, he did, and he's losing time now to Andrew Mraz coming through there. That time by, they lost about half a second to the leader, but then again, he's just taking it easy.
Yeah, he didn't hit that turtle, but he got close to it.
Yeah, you can kind of hit the turtle in that last two corners there on the front straightaway out of turn 14, but it's really just careful. You got to be really careful.
Well, he'll unravel you. Well, Andrew Mraz has got that lead out there. He got to 1.2, right?
Yeah, he's pulling away even further now from Clifton, making that lead bigger and bigger as he did get a little close there. Both him and Clifton pushing maybe a little harder as the tires wear out as they go through the back straightaway chicane.
I've seen him hit that turtle.
Another car with damage. I don't know how he got it, but Orlando Rivera there running 7th. He's got some pretty significant damage to the nose of that number 8 Valvoline Chevrolet.
Well,
looks like he got in the back of somebody.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
oh, it looks like it was Brandon Freese spun out right across the nose of Rivera. Nothing Orlando did wrong there, but Brandon Freese lost control of the car, and Orlando had nowhere to go and ran in the back of him really hard. Freese seems to be having a tough time with the track as he just is sliding all over the place.
He is, ain't he?
Yeah, a lot of guys having trouble with the track for sure. Alan Hilton, another one of those guys, struggling. But Andrew Mraz, Jeremy Clifton, Brendan Ketchum, Jerry Glenn, Lee Overton, a bunch of guys that seem to be doing really well here, making their way around the track.
Well, Jeremy Freese is by himself right now. They gotta remember, they ain't no fast fix, brother.
Yeah, that's why this race is, I mean, you could get away, honestly, with hitting a curb or a turtle at one point and getting damage. I thought you'd be able to get away with it. Usually you are with a fast repair, but since there is no fast repairs, you catch a turtle, you're done. That's it. There's no second chance. You can't come in for a fast repair along with your tires and fuel stop and be all right with a little bit of engine damage, get it fixed, and you're good. Now it's you get a turtle, you're done. You get damage to that car, it's terminal. You're not getting it fixed. As you see some lap traffic already for the leader, Andrew Mraz. Oh man, he got in the back of Jacob Chalifo there. Chalifo's off the pace there. A little bit of damage there to the left front of Mraz. Nothing he could have done there. Chalifo kind of got in his way. As you can see, a lot of these guys really struggling with this track, really off the pace, just trying to get out of the way.
He didn't get too much damage.
Now he'll be fine. Here's Alan Hilton, the guy who's not looking too strong here on the road course, which is not a bad thing because he's 4th in the points. He's very well locked into the chase, and he's got 5 races that he needs to be ready for here. After this week, he needs to be ready for Daytona next week and the following races after that to get towards the championship. This race is certainly not one he needs to worry about at all. He's just looking for a finish here.
Let's see what KC's doing. KC's back in 13th. He's taking his time, ain't he?
Yeah, he is. Casey Duncan just crawling around the track. He's another driver that's good in the points. He's made every race and he's run all right. He's up there, 6th in the point standings. But when it comes to the playoff drivers, the chase drivers, and the guys that are kind of on the bubble, that's how they say it there, if you're close to making it out, it's between Crump, Mirando, and Fabianic. We got Damian Crump right now, who is 4 points to the good. Actually, 5 points to the good on the 13th spot there, Cody Fabianic. He's running 10th. Cody Fabianic is running in the 7th position. And Dylan Mirando, who's 12th in points. Actually, he did not start this race. So he might find himself outside of the playoffs when it comes down to this. He's missing this race. I'm not sure if he's used his drop week yet, so it's going to come down to after this race. We'll have to see how everything pans out. But Mirando ended up not starting. He's took a provisional this week, so I have to see how everything pans out here after this race.
Yeah, I noticed he wasn't on the track. I was trying to find him there, but he's in the gray area.
Yeah, he was in the session and says he's going to finish 18th because he didn't start the race, but he was in the session. Man, Jeremy Clifton, I was just looking at him. Him and Mraz out of turn 1 getting all sorts of squirrely sideways as these tires starting to get some wear to them.
Andrew Mraz got real squirrely.
Yeah, they're pushing it, that's for sure here, as Andrew Mraz holding a consistent lead of about 1.3 seconds. Last time by, it was Jeremy Clifton fastest on the racetrack. Maybe he saved his stuff just a wee bit better than Andrew Mraz did in the 31 car.
Let's see, Brandon Ketchum, he's way back there, ain't he?
Yeah, he's over 7.7 seconds. Probably going to be closer to 8 seconds this time behind, even though he's still third. That just shows you the difference between guys. It's just crazy how much a little bit can do here at this track. It just takes so much skill to get around, and we can see Mraz and Clifton running real well so far this race. I think it's going to be between those two. It's kind of hard to bounce back already this early in the race, 7.7 seconds from first to third. I mean, I really don't see how any of those third place back cars can get back up there, even though we're so early in the race, unless obviously one of the top two crashes out.
Yeah, there ain't no caution, so that right there is going to make it go faster.
Yeah, it is. We got one car up in smoke down the back straightaways. Alan Hilton in the number 3 machine. Not sure what the cause of that was, but he has crashed. Looks like out of turn 3, that is. He lost control of the car, nosed it in the wall, and blew it up, so he's done. Alan Hilton luckily locked into the chase. He's got really nothing to worry about, I'd say. He's going to start next week off on a fresh, clean slate in the number 3 car. Racing for a championship, no doubt, has a chance just as much as any of the other guys.
Don't they start out with 1,200 points?
Yeah, they all equal out, so everyone has the exact same amount of points.
Yeah, he's
so
over. It's over.
Fresh start. He's got nothing to worry about coming into next week. He's going to be even with the rest of the guys that are in the chase with him, because he's no doubt been a fast car all season long. Alan Hilton has a win this season. Andrew Mraz has 2 wins, but he's just been very inconsistent compared to the rest of the field. And tonight he's not wanting to jinx him, of course. He's looking pretty strong, taking his time, which is good to see out of Andrew Mraz, who's been someone who, again, he's been inconsistent this season. He's been fast. He just hasn't really been able to put together good results as, man, he's flying through turn 1 there. These guys really getting all they can out of worn-out tires as we're closing in on 10 laps into this 55-lap race, 10 laps on this set of tires.
That's a lot, too, on this track right here.
Yeah, 55 laps. It's a lot of laps. With no cautions, it'll go by fairly quick, but still a lot of laps in a short amount of time. These tires are going to be feeling it. These cars are going to be feeling it.
They sure will.
Andrew Mraz down out of turn 12, I think that is. The corner number is a lot more confusing. Usually it's as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, but now we got 17 corners at this place as they head into turns 13 and 14, which are NASCAR Oval 3 and 4, and then turn 15, 16, and 17 is this last section.
Ooh, looks like Clifton caught up with him a little bit.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. He caught him a lot there, and just in that last set of corners alone now brings the lead down to less than 1 second between first and second place. Obviously, maybe Mraz pushed a little too hard on those opening laps.
Yeah, he was getting squirrely there too.
Yeah, he's certainly been pushing it. Both of these guys have, but maybe Clifton saving his stuff a little better than Andrew Mraz.
If he's gonna win, he's gonna have to save him tires, brother.
Yes, he is.
Well, I'd like to say hello to everybody in the chat tonight. I can't see you, but hello.
Another thing we'll have to see is how pit strategy comes into play here. If it's going to be a 1-stop, 2-stop, or even maybe 3-stop race. 55 laps, I mean, if you split it, that's, what, 23, 22 laps? About-ish. Or not 23, 22. That's like 28 laps. About to split the race, which I guess that's not a ton. Then again, you could split the race into thirds and have more time on quicker tires, so I'll have to see what these guys have thought out for strategy-wise. I think it's either a 1-stop or a 2-stop race. No doubt you're either going to split it into half distance stints or thirds.
It just depends on how much fuel they're running.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're running 50% or what.
I think it's... I'm not sure, to be honest. It's 75% fuel.
75% on this long course.
Yeah, 75%. I think that's enough to probably do it on 1 stop. But tire strategy and short pitting could come into play. And maybe they'll make 2 stops. It's going to be close, though. I'm not really sure how much fuel they got, how long they're going to be able to make it. But we're going to find out.
You see how Andrew Mraz carefully took him corners that time?
Yeah, he's just crawling around. I feel like it's almost like the slower you go, the faster the lap times you're going to get. Because Andrew Mraz seems like when he's pushing it and he's sliding all around, he runs maybe quicker lap times.
Yeah, he's running off leaving Clifton now.
Yeah, and actually Jeremy Clifton, he got a little out of shape there through the back straightaway chicane. Still all good, no real issue there. He was pushing it as hard as he could, though, that's for sure.
What do we got back here with Cody Fabianic and Corbin Blake?
Yeah, Fabianic there, back there in 9th. One of those guys that just needs to have a decent night here to keep himself in the playoffs, in the chase. Running 11th in the points with Dylan Mirando missing the race here. I think as long as he runs decent compared to Cody Fabianic, I think he'll be all right. Fabianic 2 spots ahead of Crump. I think where Crump runs, he'll make it in. But then again, it all comes down to how the provisionals pan out. Comes down to how all of that kind of sorts out after this race. So can't really make a solid assumption until this is over.
You notice these lap times about Damian Crump. He's slow.
Yeah, Crump's over a full minute behind the leader. It just shows you the difference between these fast cars up front, between the guys that are further back in the field that aren't doing so hot here, maneuvering their way around the track. But first and second are within 2 seconds. That's Clifton and Ketchum. They've been going back and forth on fastest laps and whatnot. And then you go back to third is 14 seconds back with Ketchum. Then it's 28 seconds back to Overton, 32 seconds to Glenn. That's 32 seconds from first to fifth. That's a pretty big margin.
Yeah, it is. On this track here, it's understandable, though.
Yeah, I totally did expect a big margin between the field like we're seeing now. I honestly didn't expect 2 cars to be up front as close as they are. I was expecting maybe an even bigger gap between first and second, but Mraz and Clifton both seem pretty even here between the top 2 cars.
Well, Clifton has fell back to what, 2.183?
Yeah, he's fallen back just a little bit to about 2 seconds, but it's kind of been back and forth. There's been times where he's fallen back to about a 2-second gap, and then there are times where he's brought it to under a second. I mean, all it takes is one slight mistake, and you lose or gain a second on the racetrack, so it's kind of just down to slight mistakes that could hurt you.
Andrew Murad, if he's wanting to win this one tonight, he's going to have to, on this next fuel stop, he's going to have to get out there.
Yeah, as long as all your pit stops go well, obviously that's a big deal, but 4 tires and fuel is going to be obviously the only pit call you're really going to have to make, I think. There's no real question on what you're going to do when you come in, it's just when.
And how you come out.
Exactly.
Ooh, that lap down car didn't want to give him no room there, did he?
No, he didn't. He's got to work around the outside. That's the 388 machine that he's passing to Mark Hamlin. He gets around him, though. Maybe Clifton will gain a little time.
Didn't gain much.
Next lap car up there is Brandon Fries in the 10th position.
Yeah, he's starting to lap the field.
Yep, he's working his way through only 10 lead lap cars now, as that was Mark Hamlin that he just put a lap down in 11th.
Wow. He's hustling. He better watch it though, Ryan. He got 14 laps on them tires.
Yeah, he does need to take, and he's got himself a pretty big margin now. He has been running away from Jeremy Clifton. I think really he should just put it in cruise control. You got to maintain your gap. You just got to pay attention to your gap from first to second, and just make sure you take care of your tires. And if maybe he reels you in a little bit while you're taking care of your tires, that you have the ability to get back on it and pull away a little bit. You just got to maintain that gap.
That's right. And right now he's 3.3.
Yeah, as you see him sliding through turn 1, with now over a 3-second lead on Clifton.
Keep sliding, he won't be. So it takes time to correct that, you know it?
Yeah, it does. When you got to correct the car and get out of the gas, that hurts you a lot. And when it comes to your lap times and road course races like this, long ones especially, kind of you're racing the clock, not other cars. You're just trying to run the fastest lap times you can, and you're trying to keep your gap. You're not really racing door to door with guys as much as you see on the ovals. It's about making moves, side by side racing. This is more about racing, maintaining gaps, keeping good lap times, taking care of your tires. It's a whole different animal than oval racing that we usually see week to week here on the K&N Pro Series schedule. And just like in real life NASCAR, they do have their small amount of road course races, and we have our one road course race for every 15 races here in the season. Last season, I think we were at Watkins Glen, and that was a pretty good race. Just like this one, caution-free. Comes down to strategy, comes down to who's really the best at turning right and left all on their own, running hot laps, and that's what it comes down to, as Jeremy Clifton picked up about half a second that lap.
I'm going to tell you something, Rant. Andrew Mraz is getting wild again.
You got to keep an eye on him. He's sliding around here as those tires now over 15 laps he's put on them. And I feel like there's a pretty good chance that we do make it to a point where these guys are just going to split the race in half. They've got to do about 10 more laps till they get to a point where they can pit and make it to the end on the same set of fuel and tires. We got one around. Damian Crump is, oh man, Andrew Mraz had to get around him. Damian Crump, one of those guys you talk about on the bubble there of making the chase. Looks like he lost it getting onto the oval, and he barely lost the car. Just looped it. He locked him up. He saved it, but man, Andrew Mraz had to take an evasive maneuver there to get around him, and that was oval turn 1 as the entry to the oval there, as Mraz lost quite a bit of time.
But I'll tell you what, he almost got him there, Ryan.
Yeah, if he hit him, that would have been a game-changing move there, as Andrew Mraz has the cleanest car out on the racetrack, really, as he leads Jeremy Clifton. That time by, his gap was cut from 2.6 to 1.7 seconds, so almost a full second he lost there that lap.
Yeah, Jeremy Clifton is in the same picture with him now.
Yeah, he's reeling him back in.
Yep.
That's kind of how it's been all night long. It's those two going back and forth, trading fastest lap times. That time, obviously, Clifton was the fastest car on the racetrack. It's been one of these two guys the fastest. The fastest lap of the race was set by Mraz, but Clifton is right there.
He sure is. Andrew's getting mighty close to that wall.
Yeah, he's pushing as hard as he can here. 10 more laps or so on this set of tires is probably what we're going to get.
Gonna be
at most.
Slick tires out there. He's pulling it off from Jeremy now a little bit. Oh, he pulled it back in. It looks like a little bit here and a little bit there, Ryan.
Yeah, there's corners where Clifton's faster and there's corners where Mraz is faster. And it kind of varies from lap to lap, as that time Clifton gained about 0.2 of a second on Mraz as he's slowly reeling him in.
Oh boy, he's at 1.4 now. He's pulling him now.
Yeah, he's trying to get there before maybe pit stop time. We'll see. Maybe Clifton has the long run speed. I feel like had been saving his stuff better than Mraz had, but you can't really tell. Just because someone is faster than someone else does not necessarily mean they were saving their stuff a lot better, or they weren't saving their stuff as good. As Mraz has been faster than Clifton this race, that doesn't necessarily mean he hasn't been saving his stuff, but Clifton is starting to reel him in here on the long run.
Yes, he is. 1.5 and 1.2.
Yeah, he's coming in, coming close. As the gap between first and second about 1.5 seconds, and then to third place, Brandon Ketchum 25 seconds back of Andrew Mraz, the leader, as he's just hanging in there, looking for a podium finish. As then it's 36 seconds from the leader to Lee Overton in fourth, and 39 seconds to Jerry Glenn in fifth.
I believe what you said there, Brandon Ketchum. He's sitting right there, taking his time. He's wanting a podium.
Yeah, I think he'd love getting a podium here tonight. And again, he's very well locked into the points. He's tied for sixth in points with Casey Duncan. Him making the chase is no question. He's in. He's got nothing to worry about points-wise. He just wants to get himself a good podium finish.
That's for sure.
And that's what he deserves. I don't think he's fast enough, obviously, to catch these top two at this rate. I think he knows that they were faster than him all race long. They're just faster than him in general here. And I think he's just going to be hopefully content with that third-place finish, and hopefully he doesn't get any worse than that, because that's certainly where he deserved to finish.
That's right. Andrew's got another lap car between him and Jeremy Clifton.
Yeah, he just got around. There's Cody Fabianic in seventh, and Corbin Balk, I think is how you pronounce that, there in the 424. It's his first race. I think I don't recognize that name at all here in the K&N Pro Series. So his first race, he's doing pretty good, though, running right there with Cody Fabianic for seventh. And, oh, man, Andrew Mraz, he just caught the turtle.
He sure did. It showed it.
Yeah, you can see how that car did a quick wheelie there. That is bad. As you can see, look at Cody Fabianic reeling him in on the straightaways like that and in the corners on the oval. I guarantee you Andrew Mraz is down on power now with that one. That could have done some pretty heavy motor damage. The way that car hopped up and did a wheelie like that, that's just a telltale sign of engine damage, and that could be really bad for him.
And I tell you what, Ryan, that turtle will tear that engine up.
You're going to notice it next time we come on the oval. You're going to see Andrew Mraz off the pace, and you're going to see Clifton and even Fabianic reeling him in just on the oval portion of the track. As you can see, Mraz did start pulling away again. It has a pretty good gap on Clifton, but you're going to see it start to go away as they hit to the oval.
It is.
Because I guarantee you he's got engine damage.
He's going to be scared of that thing, too.
The one thing engine damage does do is it actually makes it so when you get on the throttle, there's less power getting to the car, and there's less wheel spin, so it makes it a little easier to control through the corners. But you're going to see actually you're not going to see it this time maybe, because Clifton is side by side with a lap car through the oval. Fabianic is not giving up, as he's going to force Clifton to follow him through the back straightaway chicane, or man, he's not going to make it. Fabianic just buried it in the wall in the back straightaway chicane.
We've seen that too.
Now that's more than hitting a turtle. He just buried that car in the tire barriers. And that car, number 55, is killed. He was running well up in seventh, but he decided to go ahead and try to race Jeremy Clifton and ended up killing his car.
He didn't even turn.
Yeah, I don't know. He looked like he was going to let Clifton by. As Clifton was in second, he was going a lap down in seventh, and Fabianic raced him through the oval and got by him, and then drove wicked deep into the back straightaway chicane and just buried it into the tire barrier.
That was Heartbreak Motel one in our curve.
Yeah, it was heartburn turn there for the 55 car as Andrew Mraz has a pretty good lead, though, over Jeremy Clifton. We're going to see if that engine damage comes into play here.
Good right now.
Yeah, Clifton is reeling them in a little bit, little by little, as they go by Casey Duncan. Looks like might have spun there coming around the oval.
Let's see what he got this time around.
And Mraz has kind of opened that gap up as Clifton got held up there by the lap car.
All right, I'll be right back, Ryan.
Yep.
I better go this way.
But you can see the gap between first and second is closing up just the slightest bit. As Clifton goes from 2.8 seconds down to 1.5, gain 1.3 seconds that time by. I don't know. I don't think Mraz, now that the track is clear, there's no lap traffic to worry about right now. He's got some work to do. Andrew still seems to be running okay through the road course section while down on power, but when they get to the oval, Clifton reels them in really fast. Oh man, Andrew Mraz looks like lost it there coming onto the oval. Or actually, he had something else go wrong. It was coming out through the left-hander. He way overdrove the corner and buried it into the wall. And now Clifton is here going for the lead. He has the lead as they head down the back straightaway chicane. Jeremy Clifton takes the lead as Andrew Mraz makes the mistake that costs him the lead, and Jeremy Clifton easily into the lead here before halfway, 22 laps in, 34 to go.
I seen him when he popped that wall there. He hit it hard.
Yeah, Mraz wasn't even close there. He buried it in the wall, and now the right side of that car, along with the engine even, is killed by that 31 car. Oh, and he's going to spin it in heartburn turn. Man, he saves it through turn one, but Andrew Mraz is falling apart here 23 laps in.
Boy, he almost got it again. You better slow down and get some tires on it.
Yeah, he might be finding himself in pit road here sooner than later.
Yeah, because them lap cars are going to catch him.
Well, what was a dominating lead for Andrew Mraz has now fallen apart as he hit the wall again there, just then coming through the left-hander. Now the left front of that car is hurt.
He destroyed that car.
Within a span of 2 or 3 laps.
You know what, Ryan? That might end his night doing that, you know it?
Yeah, he's got to calm down now because I think there's enough damage to that car to do him in. If he just makes another mistake, he's really hurt that car.
Yeah, we're watching him, and he is really slowed down. Let's see our leader up here, Jeremy.
And now it's, yeah, Jeremy Clifton, our leader. It's his race to lose in the 21 car.
Yeah, he's just taking it easy now, ain't he?
Yep, he knows his competition has fallen apart as Andrew Mraz is way behind in the 31 car.
5.6 seconds that time.
Yeah, that's in one lap. It went from about half a second to 5.6. So Clifton has driven away from Andrew Mraz the competition for the lead.
He ain't even in the same picture now, Ryan.
Yeah, that's kind of game over already. It's as early as we are in this race. Jeremy Clifton has it made here in the 21.
Boy, I'm telling you, he's doing good. And Jeremy's using his head.
Yeah, he's being calm, being easy. He took it easy. He never pushed so hard to try to put the pressure on Mraz. He kind of just cruised behind him, waiting for Mraz to make a mistake, and he did.
Oh, he did, but boy, I tell you what, Jeremy, you better watch them turtles.
Yeah, he's still pushing it pretty well there through the back straightaway, but good run there by the 21, Jeremy Clifton.
He don't have to run that fast right now.
Yeah, he's got it set to cruise control as Andrew Mraz is driving angry right now, I'm sure. He just missed out on what could have been an opportunity to win. He just lost 5 seconds that time by. Now it's a 9.1 second lead for Clifton.
Look at that car there. Yeah, Ryan, it don't even look like the same car.
Yeah, it is pretty badly damaged here. As what I wouldn't put out of context now is probably within the next 5-6 laps, we could even see Brandon Ketchum and Lee Overton, the third and fourth place cars, maybe find their way up to Mraz, who's way off the pace, and maybe pick off second and third spot.
You got them lap down cars right there catching him.
Yeah, those lap down cars are about to make hay out of Andrew Mraz. They're about to get around him as he's so far off the pace now with all that damage.
Yeah. But is he going to sit in there in the pit when he goes in, Ryan, and try to get it fixed? He ain't got no fast fix, so...
No, I mean, that's a good question, but I think with the fact that there's no cautions and the amount of damage that he's got, it's a ton of damage, probably a few minutes worth. I think it's honestly just worth it just to keep digging out there with the damage that he's got and just hang on for the best finish he can. I don't think fixing it's going to do you any good because it's not like a caution can get you back up toward the front. I think you just got to go with what you've got.
Yep, got to go with the flow. I'm watching that. Them lap down cars is catching him now.
Yep, and we actually just got pit stops here. Jeremy Clifton, 26 laps in. He is down pit road, 30 laps to go, and he's going to take his fuel and tire stop now. And this is going to be more than likely his one and only stop. He's playing it safe, putting those fresh tires on now. Putting fuel in, tires in. That gives the lead back to Andrew Mraz for the moment. But clean pit stop for Jeremy Clifton. He's going to come out still up there in the third position. But he is the first to take pit road, and he's got fresh tires, and he's going to be really fast right now with those fresh tires.
Oh, he is, man.
Once he saw what happened to Mraz, he's just taking the pit stop now. He's just going to take it easy from here on out.
There comes your lap down cars.
Fresh tires for Clifton. We're going to see him quickly reel in Brandon Ketchum for second, even though Ketchum hasn't come into pit road yet. And he's obviously he needs to make at least one pit stop this race, so it's really not actually a battle for second spot. It's just Ketchum hasn't come down pit road yet, as Andrew Mraz has now found his way down onto pit road from the lead. So Brandon Ketchum will take the lead here as he comes down pit road. Or if he does come down pit road, he won't take the lead, but he's going to stay out for another lap. Ketchum will claim the lead here this time by.
If you watch Brandon Ketchum there, Ryan, he is using his head. He is actually taking his time in them turns.
Yeah, his car is probably the only one left with no damage to it at all, because now Mraz's car is pretty destroyed. There's a little bit of damage to Clifton, and he's just cruising around the track, though. Either way, I think Clifton's in the catbird seat. He just got mistakes that he doesn't want to make, and he'll win this race as long as he doesn't make mistakes.
No, he don't. He's not. He's catching. He's catching Ketchum. That rhymed, didn't it?
Yeah, no pun intended there, as Brandon Ketchum leads, but he still needs a pit stop. So it's all Jeremy Clifton's right now once Brandon Ketchum comes down pit road.
Oh, yeah. Andrew's 4.7 behind him.
And now what I'm wondering is, how did Andrew Mraz get a fast repair?
Is he repaired?
Yeah, completely repaired, and he is flying up to Jeremy Clifton, who just blew a motor coming down the back straightaway. He must have hit a turtle and blown up. And know what I think happened? They must have given these guys a fast repair for this race, because Andrew Mraz took his fast repair, and Jeremy Clifton hit a turtle, and his car just blew up coming down the back straightaway, and he's trying to coast down pit road, but I don't know if he's going to make it.
He might as well stop and get that tow.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing, but that's his race. He might have just lost right there.
Well, I didn't know they had a fast repair.
I didn't either, because at every race they don't, but they must have given these guys a fast repair here tonight, just knowing what this race was going to turn out to be. So Andrew Mraz took a fast repair, and now he's out on the racetrack with a brand new clean car. Jeremy Clifton's out getting towed to the pits. That's going to take a while. And Brandon Ketchum's in getting his 4 tires and fuel, giving the lead back to Andrew Mraz.
I'll be doggone.
So Brandon Ketchum coming out of the pits. He'll be second.
That's unusual for them to do that.
Yeah, and I had no idea, but Andrew Mraz now with a commanding lead in a brand new, fresh, clean race car.
Maybe he knew that.
He might have known that, but Jerry Glenn
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I'm sure the drivers knew more than we did, but Jerry Glenn just made his pit stop. He's in third there. Lee Overton actually just took third because he hasn't come down pit road yet. Or no, he has, so that puts Lee Overton up to third, as continuing to lose spots is the 21 of Jeremy Clifton.
Jeremy Glenn is in fourth, right? Or Jerry Glenn, rather.
He is, yeah, in fourth. Lee Overton just passed him.
Okay.
And 21 of Jeremy Clifton is on his way out of pit road. Just got his fast repairs, 4 tires and fuel, and he's going to come out. Just lost the lead lap. He's 1 lap down in 7th behind Andrew Mraz.
Oh, Lord. That's going to be hard to catch up.
Still a good run, but heartbreaking for Jeremy Clifton, who's 10th in the points. Solidly in the chase, more than likely. Still going to come together with a good finish as long as he can hold on to the car for the rest of this race.
Lord, he's 27 seconds behind.
Yeah, I'm sure he's upset. He had a good chance at a win here tonight. He's been really strong every race this season as he slides onto the oval. But he's been really strong, and he just hasn't been able to put together a win. He's only started 6 races, yet he's still in the top 10 in points, 10th in points. 6 races and 5 top 5, 6 top 10s. That's pretty good stats right there.
Yeah, it is. And he's pushing it hard, too, right now.
Yes, he totally is. Trying to get everything he's got.
Well, let's see what he did.
Because, of course, there's still chance for mistake for everyone else. They could all do the same thing. We still got 26 laps to go. We're past halfway now, 30 laps in.
You reckon they know about them turtles?
Hey, you would think they would, but they still love to hit them.
Well, he's hitting them. Throwed him up out of the wall, too. Wow.
So now we're down to 4 lead lap cars as Jerry Glenn just lost the lead lap. So Orlando Rivera's in 4th. He's in last car on the lead lap. Then it's 3rd, Lee Overton. 2nd, Brandon Ketchum. And the leader, Andrew Mraz.
Brandon Ketchum, hey, he's way back there, ain't he?
Yeah, he is 30 seconds back in 2nd.
Wow. Hey, Andrew got it in cruise control now.
Yep, he just knows now not to make a mistake. 26 laps is still a long time on a set of tires, but he should hopefully be able to hold on to it. He's been him and Jeremy Clifton were the 2 fastest cars all night long, and Mraz just needs to hold it together.
He can slow down that chicane.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's using all the track he can and slowing down as best he can.
Sure is. That's the only way to do it, Ryan.
Yep, he's not getting close to the walls, keeping it away from the grass, keeping it away from those turtles, using what he can to be safe.
If he keeps that up, he'll be a winner. Take your time. That's all you got to do.
You know it.
On a track like this, you know.
Yep.
Still pushing it, though.
Oh, yeah. He's still moving right along. It's not going too slow. He could probably go even slower than he is, but I guess he's comfortable doing the speed that he is. It's kind of just going as slow as you want with comfort here. As you can see, he really does crawl down the back straightaway, but he's just going as fast as he comfortably can without thinking he's going to make a mistake. I think he's smart enough to do that.
You reckon he's got a spotter?
He might. But we've got a couple cars out of the race already. Jacob Shelifo, Alan Hilton, Mike Gant, all out of the race. 12 cars remain on the racetrack. Only 4 are on the lead lap.
Is that something?
It certainly is. Small number. As it is all Andrew Mraz now.
Ryan, he tore his car all pieces.
He did.
Stopped and got towed, got it fixed, and now he's leading the race again. That's something.
Yep. Jeremy Clifton, who unfortunately was the one that had to really stop and get the car towed, he fell way back to, he was in about 8th or 9th. Now he's crawled all the way back up to 6th, and he's working on a top 5 on Jerry Glenn. They're the first car lap down, both of those, Glenn and Clifton, as Glenn's actually going to get up and maybe get out of the way for Clifton. Maybe not yet, as the battle for 5th is on.
Andrew just come around Casey Duncan.
Yeah, Mraz puts Casey Duncan 2 laps down. He's in 11th.
And you hear Andrew grinning it down for that chicane, too.
He is taking it easy. And while taking it easy, he's still growing that gap on second place, Brandon Ketchum.
You gotta know, stay away from them turns there, Ryan.
Yep. He knows how to take it easy, and he's doing a good job here since he's come in for that faster pair. He has such a big lead. He's taking it easy. I think at the first stint there, when Jeremy Clifton was right there with him, he kind of felt the pressure from Clifton and pushed harder than maybe he needed to and made that couple of mistakes he did there to damage that car. But now he's got such a big lead, no pressure at all. He's just cruising along.
Cruise control, another county.
Pretty big lead. He's got now 35 seconds.
He's in another zip code now.
Yeah, he is long gone.
It ain't over yet.
It is not over yet. Mistakes can still be made by anybody, especially Andrew Mraz, as he crawls through the last 2 corners. Brings us to the final 22 laps from the Charlotte Roval.
Wait till he gets some more laps on them tires, about 20 laps. It'll change.
Man, Andrew's been really strong all season. He's been one of the contenders all season long. Him and Alan Fox, I think, are the 2 quickest drivers around the racetrack. Alan Fox, the points leader, decided to pass on coming out to this race because, well, he's got a huge points lead. He's won a race. He's made 8 starts, 7 top 10s. He's been really strong all season. Didn't even show up for this race because he's the points leader and he's got such a big gap. He's obviously well in the chase, so nothing to worry about there. Alan Fox, Lee Overton, Jerry Glenn, Alan Hilton, Mraz, Casey Duncan, Ketchum, Rivera, Freeze, Clifton. All those guys guaranteed are probably going to make the chase. Damian Crump should probably make the chase. He's running 9th, having a good run. And then it's close between Fabianic and Dylan Miranda, who was a no-show here tonight, ended up not running the race. Have to see how all that files out with the drop weeks and whatnot. It's going to be close.
Yeah. But you know what? That guy right here, Andrew Mraz, he's got to know, Ryan, if he slows down just a little bit, he'll be a tough contender.
Yeah, he's been very... Oh, and he's spinning out, actually, out of the corner here. He's going to be all right. He didn't hit anything. Burnt up the tires a little bit, but he's going to turn it around. He's going to keep going. He's got a 40-second lead. He probably lost 5 to 10 seconds right there. but he's still fine. He burnt up the tires a little bit, but he's all good. He needs to keep it composed. He needs to calm down. Pretend that didn't happen. Just keep going. Nobody saw it, right? Just keep going.
I must have jinxed him.
Yeah, right.
That's
Just got to put a race together.
Yeah.
As he's coming down the back straightaway chicane here, he's just got to take it easy.
Yeah, he's a good driver, Ryan. No doubt in my mind, he's a good driver. But he could be better if he slowed down just a little bit.
You just got to calm it down. He's got the speed. He just needs the patience. And he just needs the kind of the talent to be able to know how hard to push and when to push so hard. We've seen mistakes out of him, inconsistency, but certainly a ton of speed out of that 31 car all season long. And now Andrew, after that time by, he had about a 40-second lead on Brandon Ketchum, 41 seconds. And that has narrowed down to about 30 seconds, so about 10 seconds lost from first to second, but still, 30-second lead is more than enough to take it easy.
Oh, yeah. That 10 seconds was in that span.
Yeah, and doesn't even take that much. It's pretty easy to spin a car out around here. You don't even really need to get on the gas that hard. You could be thinking you're taking it easy, but you just hit a bump the wrong way, and the car will bounce its way right off the track and around. So it's not like he might have just been taking it easy, and you just hit a bump weird, and you're around.
That's right. Let's see who we got back here. What's Brandon Freeze doing? Brandon Freeze is in 12th place.
Yeah, that 29 car, he struggled at the beginning part of the race. I think he's starting to put it together now, but he's dug himself a pretty deep hole, 2 laps down in 12th. He's the last car on track running. 13th through 15th have retired from the race.
Heard that. Okay. Damian Crump, he's by himself in 8th.
Yeah, Damien's doing pretty well. He's a lap down in 8th. It's not awful. Not too far ahead of him is Cody Fabianic in the 55. And then Lee Overton, Brandon Ketchum, the 3rd and 2nd place cars, doing all right.
Orlando Riviera, he's back here in 4th. He's taking his time.
Yeah, he's been clean. One of the cleanest drivers for sure. He had an incident there early in the race that had nothing to do with him, with Brandon Freeze spinning out in front of him. He got into him. Nothing he could have done at all, but he's, out of all people, just set it into cruise control. He's been pretty quick. He's someone who only ran partial schedule, isn't in contention to make the chase more than likely. 16th in the points coming into this race, but he's been pretty good for a part-time guy. He ran up front a few times, had a couple good runs there, Orlando did.
Well, he's doing good on this Charlotte Roval, though. Even he is in 4th place, 2 laps down.
Yeah, he's actually, I messed that up. He's 8th in the points. He is in the chase. He's been running all season long. Hasn't missed a race yet. And, yeah, he's a really strong guy. We've seen him up front all the time, running top 10 every race. And consistency, very few mistakes out of him, and looks good right now. Exactly 1 minute flat behind Andrew Mraz, the leader.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. I like to see these race car drivers come from the back up there, Ryan, and save their stuff, and catch the leader. That's what I like.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing much of that tonight here. It's going to take more than a little bit of tire saving to get 30-second gain on the leader, Andrew Mraz, for Brandon Ketchum there in 2nd. So still a pretty good run, though, for all these guys behind Mraz.
Yeah. Brandon Ketchum is 8 seconds behind. He ain't going to catch him. Not unless Andrew does something really crazy.
Yeah, unless a mistake is made by Andrew, then I think he's got it made.
I believe he has too, Ryan. If he can
Still
do it.
17 to go.
If he can do it, my hat off to him.
Yeah, he's certainly been running well. He's leading by 30 seconds for a reason.
Ooh. Brandon Ketchum just hit that turtle. Better watch him turtle there, Brandon. He's losing ground now. Go back up there and see what Andrew's doing.
Got a pretty good lead. He's just cruising.
Oh, yeah. He's 32 seconds ahead of the second place. That lap down car staying up with him, ain't he?
Yeah. That's right behind him. That's Corbin Balk there, new face to the series.
He may not be on the lead lap, but he's right there with him.
Doing pretty well in his first start, running 5th.
Oh, yeah. He's going to pass him.
He's trying to. He's doing pretty well.
He's going to get one hit out back the hard way, ain't he?
He's trying. It's actually pretty impressive that he's running right there behind him.
He's going to cut inside him, isn't it? Well, he did. Ooh, that would have cut off.
If I were Mraz, I'd get out of the way and just admit that he's faster than me and get him out of there. I don't want him to be behind me trying to make moves like that. I don't want to be caught up in a mess with him.
Andrew, better be careful. Them lap down cars can get you, buddy. And you know that like I do.
Yeah, he's got that 424 car right behind him. And Jerry Glenn, too, isn't far back there in 6th.
I'm sure Jerry Glenn would like to get up there and get one of his laps back.
Yeah, here comes that 424. Corbin Balk there on the outside around turn 14 into 15, 16, and 17. Mraz maybe overdriving a little bit there. Not really. Corbin trying to get a good exit there down the front straightaway.
The wrong thing to do is let a lap down car put pressure on you.
Yeah, if I were Mraz there with Corbin all up the back bumper of Andrew, I'd get out of the way, but look at Andrew's just cutting him off, cutting no slack there to that 424.
If you get mad at him, he better be careful. Let him go, Andrew.
Yeah, he's got all sorts of pressure coming from him.
That car right there gonna cause him to make a mistake.
He's gaining on him pretty quick on the corners and the straightaways. Not sure if Andrew might have a little bit of engine damage, but there goes the 424 to the inside, which you cannot make a move down there into the back straightaway chicane. It's just too dangerous, so he does the right thing and backs out. He was hoping maybe Mraz would be the one that backs out. But man, good run for Corbin running 5th, but he just can't make it work.
That's dangerous. Corbin doing everything he can, though, buddy.
Yeah, he is. He's doing well, but he is all over the back bumper, Andrew, and he's running respectfully. He's faster than him, he knows it, and he's trying to make a move, but he's also playing real smart and real safe, and he's trying his best not to get into Andrew because he knows that would be the wrong thing to do as a lap car, is to get into the leader.
Yeah, he will.
Trying his best to pass him clean, which is hard to do at this place. Especially with Mraz not cutting him any slack.
Not me.
Coming to 13 to go this time for leader Andrew Mraz. He's got a 38-second lead on Brandon Ketchum. Lee Overton 44 seconds back. And here goes the 44 Corbin Balk here on the outside of Andrew Mraz. He'll have the run on the exit. And he's got him. He got by him finally. Oh, Mraz dives it in there. Oh, he bailed, thankfully. Man, Andrew was putting up quite a fight there for real no reason. Corbin gets his way back up onto the lead lap. Now 5 lead lap race cars here Man, power move there by the 424.
You see how fast he is?
Yeah, he's a lot faster. He's going to be long gone here, driving away from Andrew Mraz. I'm not sure why Andrew put up really such a fight when I think it was obvious who was the faster of the two in that battle.
The way I look at it, Andrew don't want nobody to pass him.
Yeah, he doesn't. And ahead of these guys, not too far, one car up in smoke, Damian Crump running 7th. He crashed in the final corner, and he's got to do a full lap up in smoke before he can come down pit road to get repairs to that car. So, smoke screen coming around the racetrack is the 12 of Damian Crump.
Ooh, he is, ain't
he? Yeah, he's back up on the oval in turn 9 there.
He's going to be lucky to make it back.
Yeah, he's hoping that thing just stays intact for this last little while.
We'll keep our eyes on him.
I think he'll be down pit road before these guys get to him. You can see the 424 Corbin's catching him, but Crump will get out of the way down onto the apron as he heads to pit road. No issue there. The leader Andrew Mraz will get by him without issue.
He made it so far.
And Crump's got a big gap to the next guy behind him. So I don't think he's actually going to lose that much time. I'm not sure if he still has his fast repair or not.
We'll know in just a second.
Yes, he comes into his pit stall here. We'll see if that car is done or not.
His motor blew up.
It looks like he had a fast repair. The whole car just cleaned itself right up. He's all good.
The motor blew up when he pulled in there, too.
Yeah. Perfect timing as he's going to take 4 tires, fast repair, and he's back going again in 7th spot.
Wow, how lucky can you get?
It looks like he's going to fall to 8th position actually right there, but still not too big of a loss for Damian Crump. Andrew Mraz continues to lead.
You don't see that every day, Ryan.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He pulled in there and just got stopped and his motor blew up.
Perfect timing there, and Andrew Mraz, 38 seconds from 1st to 2nd place, 52 seconds back to Lee Overton in 3rd. 3 good drivers that we've seen running up front all day.
Yeah.
They're all championship contenders for sure, and they're proving it here as they're running a long green flag race.
Let's see here. He's got a good lead on him. But he's also got 18 laps on them tires.
They should be good to make it the rest of the way, I would think.
I think he should be up to. But right here's where he turned around a while ago.
It is, and he's putting Jeremy Clifton another lap down. Clifton's now 4 laps down in 10th. Jeremy had a great run going before the untimely point where his engine blew from hitting those turtles and wasn't able to make it back to the pits and was forced to tow and lost a lot of time. He's back in 10th place. Oh man, he got the wall.
Oh, he hit it hard, Ryan.
Coming onto the oval.
He hit it hard.
He hit those bumps just right, or just wrong, I guess, and he plowed the safer barrier in what is NASCAR Turn 1. Now, the good thing about that for Andrew is that's not going to do motor damage. His car's not going to blow up like you'd see from hitting the turtles, but man, that's going to hurt his car. But I don't think it's going to hurt him where he's going to lose 38 to 40 seconds in what's coming to 10 laps to go. I don't think it would be a big worry for Andrew. I just really got to say, he's got to calm down. He's got to slow the car down. He's not racing against anyone right now but himself. And now with that damage, that thing's just going to be harder to drive, so he's just got to chill out here.
You know, Ryan, you can outdrive yourself.
Yeah, and he's figured out a way to do it here a few times this season, and hopefully he's able to hold on to it.
That's right. If you just listen to reason. Slow down a little bit. You got way out there then. Do I hear that car spitting and sputtering?
And he only lost half a second that lap compared to Ketchum. So still 38.1 second lead for Andrew Mraz. 9.5 or so laps to go at Charlotte.
Well, it's his to lose.
Yes, it is. It's his race to lose. He can do it on his own. He doesn't need help as he makes his way down the back straightaway.
Got way down on that apron, too.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was a little weird how he ran that line on the exit. That just shows how slow he's taking it through the back straightaway chicane.
Yeah, he's staying low. Hear that car spitting?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. I ain't heard one run like that.
Still pulling away, though. He's actually running faster lap times than Brandon Ketchum is. I have to see the interval at the line. It was 38.1 last time by.
But you know, just like I do, it don't take but 1 second to lose that lead.
That is for sure. And that time by, he gained about 0.7 of a second. Still, Andrew Mraz did on second place catching, even though Mraz found the wall there, got all that damage. Mraz obviously still up to speed fairly well. This will be 8 to go at the line this time.
Been all up front, Ryan.
Yeah, it has.
There ain't nobody back there doing nothing crazy. Well, I didn't mean he was doing crazy stuff. He just, sometimes he outdrives himself. Look at that car. Wow. Ryan, if that thing starts smoking, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm not sure if he's still got a faster pair left or what, but he's certainly just hoping that the car survives the rest of this race, because I think he knows he will, and all.
It's sure missing. It ain't hitting on all eight, is it?
Yeah, maybe running 7 cylinders, as he's now got. He just gained 3 more seconds on Ketchum, 42-second lead.
Hang in there, Andrew.
That is all he's got to do.
7 to go, ain't it?
Yeah, coming down to 7 laps to go this time for Andrew.
What do you think about this race so far, Ryan?
It's been a pretty good, interesting race, about what I expected, which was a very spread out field and a race of attrition and survival. And it came down to just that. I mean, Andrew Mraz and Jeremy Clifton were the 2 contenders, and both of them made mistakes. Both of them had to take faster pairs, and Clifton was the unlucky one who really made the big mistake that ended up costing his race. He thought it was Mraz that made a mistake that costed his race, but then Jeremy Clifton went ahead and made a bigger mistake and ended up blowing his car up. But all these guys are still making the playoffs, so it comes to big picture winning championships. All these guys still have just as good a chance as each other here coming into the final 5 races. Daytona next week marks the beginning of the chase. Everyone is reset on points. The top 12 make it. And it'll be a good show for the next 5 weeks.
Well, we're going to be here for it, Bubba. You won't be here for one of them, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be here for New Hampshire. Curtis Vollmer sounds like he might be able to take care of my duties in the booth, but I'll be here for the other 4 races over the course of the chase.
That's good.
Coming down to 6 laps to go, Andrew Mraz.
He slowed down a little bit in that chicane. He got to.
Yeah, he just put Casey Duncan a lap down. He's running 9th. He's now 3 laps down. Casey is. He's pretty good, running 6th in points coming into this race. Going to be a championship contender starting next week.
That's right.
We haven't seen the best results out of him, but very consistent. He runs every race, runs decent in every race. Only one top 5 out of this season. Through 10, this will be the 10th race. But a pretty good season for KC.
That's all it takes, being consistent.
Yeah, all it takes is to really show up for every race here, and you'll make the playoffs. And you'll make the chase if you show up most weeks. Even if you don't run outstanding, as long as you can put it up in the top 10 most of the time, you can make the chase pretty easily.
Oh, yeah.
There is a good battle, though, shaping up for 4th place as we head into the 5 to go mark between Corbin Balk and Orlando Rivera. Corbin, we've seen, has been really fast here, climbing from 15th to 5th in this race. And here in the later portion, we saw him pass Andrew Mraz there, tried to unlap himself, and now he's reeled in Orlando Rivera there for the 4th spot.
Oh, he's catching him fast.
Good battle shaping up there. I think, no doubt, Corbin's got the faster car, but now he's just got to make a nice, clean move to get that spot. He's got no pressure from behind him at all.
Oh, keep it clean. Just like he almost made a mistake there.
Yeah. He's pushing for all he's got. He wants that extra spot. He wants the 4th spot on Orlando.
Yep. Orlando's still got a nice looking car.
And the Valvoline Chevy there. And the DuPont Chevy, the 424, the Jeff Gordon looking car versus the Johnny Benson looking car going at it as Orlando is going to do the nice thing. He's going to realize who's faster. He's going to move to the top side. And Corbin Balk is going to take away that 4th spot here late in the going. And he's going to see if he can maybe even hunt down Lee Overton for 3rd in a late race charge by the new rookie Corbin Balk.
Well, Orlando knew that he was faster than he was, and that's the reason he let him by.
Yeah, nice thing to do there by Orlando. We're going to see it's about 4 or 5 seconds back from 3rd to 4th between Lee Overton and Corbin Balk there. And we're going to see if maybe Corbin can pull off a miracle here in the last 4 or 5 laps. Maybe get himself a podium finish in his, what I believe is his debut here in the K&N Series.
Yeah, Andrew just popped them turtles too. I mean, Orlando. Slowed him down, Ryan.
Yeah, just a little bit.
He come on off the ground on them things.
Yeah, all it takes is a little bit of contact with them and it launches you.
It does. We seen it do to Andrew that way to start with, didn't we?
Yeah, those turtles certainly took a chomp out of every driver in the field here today.
Real. 4 laps to go. Wow.
Yeah, coming to 3 to go here for Mraz as he's coming down through the final few corners here, down through turns 13 and 14.
Andrew got it in cruise control right now.
Easy does it here for Andrew these last couple of laps. 41-second lead over Brandon Ketchum. Fastest car on the track, though, every lap, these last few laps, has been Corbin Balk there in the 424 car, as he has brought that lead down a little bit on Lee Overton to about 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, he might catch. He might catch him.
That'll be a good battle for the final spot on the podium.
Yep.
As Lee is actually getting held up a little by Brandon Fries, who is 11th, 6 lap down.
Brandon Ketchum doing okay. He's in second place, 41 seconds behind him.
Yeah, I think Ketchum, no doubt, has had a pretty boring day. Sitting there basically in second all night long, about 30 seconds back of the lead.
Man, that's going to be a heck of a gap, ain't it?
Yeah, we could probably take a nap. First and second place come across the line.
For real.
3 laps to go, though.
Yep.
Coming to 2 to go. Corbin Balk, though, is making hay, trying to catch up to that 3rd place car. Now down to 2.8 seconds as he is doing all he can. He wants that podium. He wants to be up here in the booth with us at the end of this race.
That'd be his first race, and he'd be up here.
That would be a very impressive run here, as he no doubt has had the speed compared to anyone else here at the end of this race. Didn't talk about it much at the beginning, and all of a sudden he is fast here at the end of this race.
He's catching that 424.
Going to come down to the wire here is about a lap and a half left, as Andrew Mraz will be taking the white flag this time as he makes his way through the infield section of the track.
Oh, 2 to go. One more after this one, Ryan. Andrew.
Oh man, I was just watching Lee Overton flying through the back straightaway sideways.
Yeah, Lee's wanting to keep that 3rd place.
Yeah, he wants it, but he just doesn't have the car, the tires that Corbin's got here at the end. Corbin's tires only 1 lap fresher, but it seems like he's found a lot of speed as Andrew Mraz is coming to take the white flag as Corbin Balk is trying to reel in Lee Overton. And here it is, white flag for your pole sitter, your dominator of this race. Andrew Mraz leads to the white flag. 1 more lap to go around the Charlotte Roval.
You ain't got to worry about it now. Just take your time. You don't really have to even get on it.
You just got to cruise to the finish line here, really.
And he's doing that too, Ryan.
Yeah, he's got a 41-second lead. He could stop and do donuts before he takes the checkered flag and still come across to win this thing.
That's right. We're getting ready to crown our winner.
Yep, out of the road course section one last time and onto the oval here in turns 13 and turns 9 and 10. And as Andrew Mraz is coming around here through the back straightaway chicane one last time, a big sigh of relief as he makes it through the back straightaway chicane one last time. It's going to be Andrew Mraz coming out of turn and coming into turns 15, 16, and 17 one last time. Andrew Mraz is going to do it, and he wins his 3rd race of the season, most out of anyone, and he wins it here at the Charlotte Roval as we head into the chase after this week. Brendan Ketchum should easily be able to crawl around for 2nd, but a good battle is starting to heat up for 3rd, if you want to look at that, Tim, between Corbin, Balk, and Lee Overton there. Corbin's close. We're going to see if he can catch him. He's pushing with all he's got. Bouncing off the wall as he comes onto the oval. Within a second there between 1st and 2nd.
He's pushing it hard, Ryan.
Man, he has been digging real fast, and he wants that 3rd spot on Lee Overton. And Lee is not just going to give it to him. Let's see how hard Corbin pushes here through the back straightaway. Man, both of them flying down through the back straightaway chicane. Overton pushing as hard as he can. We got 2 more corners to go for 3rd. Brandon Ketchum gets 2nd place. In the battle for 3rd, flying into the final set of corners. Corbin Balk is going to fly in there. Oh, he gets into the back of Lee Overton, and Lee Overton hangs on. What an awesome race there for the finish. I don't know how he kept it on the track through those last 2 corners. Corbin was flying in there. Got in the back of Lee Overton. Man, what an awesome finish we just saw there.
He tore them turtles up too there, Ryan.
Yeah, he used all the turtles that he could. Man, that was the highlight of the race right there, the battle for 3rd. Corbin Balk, got to give a shout out to him, man. He put off an awesome fight there. No doubt for his debut here on the road course. Showed a lot of talent. But we're going to bring up our podium finishers here. Start off with Lee Overton, Brandon Ketchum, and Tim, you'll get race winner Andrew Mraz.
I hear you, buddy. They're still going around, ain't they?
Yeah, a couple more guys just finishing the race here at the very end. Big track takes a while to finish, but everyone done now. Andrew Mraz, Brandon Ketchum, Lee Overton. That's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We're going to bring Lee Overton up in the booth right now.
User was moved to your channel.
Lee Overton's Ryan Gable up here in the OSRN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going, Ryan?
That's going good, man. You and Corbin put on a wild fight there at the end of the race, kind of the highlight of the whole race. Tell us about how your race went from your point of view.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. I got some practice in, in Xfinity, so they're kind of close to here. I mean, I was putting up better laps here than in Xfinity, so I got some extra practice. Turned it into a one-stop race, and as you can see here, I am coasting on the pace lap. Ran out of fuel about halfway through the cool-down lap, so I was really saving fuel. That's why I lost that huge gap, because I was up near Ketchum. But overall, a great day. I mean, I wasn't expecting a top three. A top five, let alone a top three, but I think this seals up the regular season championship for me, which I'm pretty happy about.
Yeah, I think that will put up because Alan Fox missed that final race there, so you should pick off the regular season championship heading into the chase. How do you think you fare here with your chances to bring home the championship as we head into the 5-race chase here starting next week?
Much better than I anticipated at the beginning of the year. I mean, I wasn't expecting to be competing for wins, let alone grabbing, 6 top 5s or so and a win. So I'm pretty confident going into the chase. Been able to run around everyone in the top 12. So I'm pretty happy going into the chase with myself, and I think I can fare pretty well.
All right, man. Any shout-outs you want to make? Anyone you want to thank here tonight?
Just thank you guys as always. You guys always put on a great broadcast up there. Our league wouldn't be what it is without you guys as well. Shout out to Rick Donathan and the rest of the team, Dakota, Ken, John, the admins for the series. It's been a lot of fun, and I just want to thank them for the opportunity.
All right, man. Congratulations. Nice podium finish here to end out the regular season.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, Brandon Ketchum, everyone's favorite. He gets the podium here, finishing second tonight. Runner-up. We're going to bring him up.
User was moved to your channel.
Brandon Ketchum, it's Ryan Gable up here in the OSRN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing great, man. Good run here tonight. You finished second, and probably out of the whole field, you might have had the most boring night out of anybody running second, just cruising all night long. Tell us about your race from your perspective.
At a road course, I'll take boring. I had pretty clear road in front of me, pretty clear behind me, so I just kind of ran my pace and made a couple of mistakes, fell back. But I mean, I am not good at road courses, so even being, on the lead lap at the end is a win in my book.
Yeah, you had a pretty good run there, and when it came down to fuel and tire strategy, was the one-stop strategy kind of the way to go there at the end? Just split the race in half. I wasn't sure how the fuel and tire situation was before the race, but it seemed that one-stop was the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you could squeeze it out to one stop was the way to go, because most of the guys were doing one stop, so you may have had to back off. I backed off for a bit, just to save an extra, make sure, so I can, push hard if I needed to. So it was definitely a fun race tonight.
All right, anyone you want to thank? Any shout-outs you want to make?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Gillen Motorsports, Josh Gillen, for the team. Thomas over at T&P Knives. He's a great sponsor, good friend. Go check him out, www.tandp-knives.com. Extreme Motorsports and Rick Donathan for the league. It's a great league, great competition. You guys up there in the booth calling it, and my wife and my family for supporting me on this.
All right, thank you, Brandon Ketchum. Congratulations on second place finish.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, Rick, Tim, we're gonna bring up the winner, Andrew Mraz, here in 1 second.
All right.
User was moved to your channel.
Andrew Murad, it's Tim McBray in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Andrew. You kind of put it in there, didn't you?
Yes, I did. That's 3 wins for the season right here.
Yes, sir. You know, I know you go back and listen to the broadcast when you hear me talking. I've said to Ryan tonight, you know, if he'll just slow down just a little bit in them turns, he'll be all right. Well, that wall taught you that, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It certainly did. I kept pushing it, trying to find out when it would break loose. A couple of times I found out and I pushed it a little too far.
But I did not know, for one, that y'all had a fast fix tonight. Man, you finished 40-something seconds ahead of second place.
Yeah, definitely. 42 seconds in front of Brandon Ketchum and Lee Overton, about 60 seconds. Jeremy Clifton was in there for a little bit. I don't know what happened to him, but he must have hit a turtle or something like that and his engine blew. And when I lost the lead to him, I'm like, oh, great, this is the race. I'm not going to win it, but you can never count yourself out for a road course.
Well, he did hit a turtle, Andrew. I promise you he hit a big one. But anyway, congratulations on the race, man. I knew if you would just calm down just a little bit, and that wall helped you. And I tell you what, congratulations. You got anybody on thank?
Thank you, and I certainly do. I'd like to thank Hooker Headers for sponsoring this race car. Without them, I wouldn't have a race car for tonight. I would also like to thank Downforce Motorsports for allowing me to race, Extreme Motorsports, 99.com, you guys up in the booth, and everyone that's been watching.
Well, we appreciate you too, Andrew. You have a good one, man. Maybe we'll see you next week. Now, we're starting out next week on the chase for the championship now.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a good kickstart to that with a win. Let's keep it moving.
That's right, buddy. Well, you know, all y'all start off with the same amount of points. You're going to have to dig for 5 races.
Oh, certainly. It's going to be exciting. Our viewers better watch and listen closely. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great, buddy. And congratulations again, Andrew, and hopefully we'll see you next week. You have a good one, brother.
Thank you, you too.
All right, Ryan, give us a top 10 rundown.
All right, you got it here. Race winner was Andrew Mraz, as you just heard from. Also, Brandon Ketchum in second, Lee Overton third. Corbin Balk there had put up a great fight to finish fourth. Too bad that he didn't get over Lee Overton there. He was fast there at the end of the races. Lee was trying to save fuel, apparently. Jerry Glenn pulls off fifth place. Orlando Rivera sixth. Seventh was Mark Hamlin. Eighth, Casey Duncan. Ninth, Jeremy Clifton. And 10th was Brandon Fries. Also, point standings are in, and at the very end, it came down to a close battle to make the chase. Cody Fabianic barely eked out Dylan Mirando and makes the chase. Dylan Mirando is out of the chase. He did not make it tonight after this race, and he misses the chase by 1 spot. I think he was just 2 points was the difference between him and him being in or out of the chase. And the regular season championship was actually a tie between Lee Overton and Jerry Glenn. They both tied for the points lead at the end of the regular season, and on to the chase next week at Daytona.
I'm going to tell you what, that's pretty good there, buddy. And this was a great race, and everybody, I'm Tim McBride up here in the booth. For myself and Ryan Gavel, we'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good one. Coffee.